Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back on the Unity SMP. Well, to start out today's episode, we're gonna do a little bit of fishing, and we're gonna just kind of see what we can get. I've actually already done quite a bit of fishing off camera, just a little bit before the episode, in between episodes, and we talked a little bit. Man, we're doing pretty good. Couple of fish so far in this this little footage here, and we don't even have an enchanted fishing rod. That's pretty crazy. But anyway, what I was saying is, in the last episode, we talked about how things were just kind of crazy last week, and just kind of had to rush through the build a little bit and do a lot of it off camera, and I was talking about wanting to slow down the pace a little bit, so this is how we're going to slow it down for the very beginning of this episode, just so we can take it easy a little bit to get us going again. So let's take a look at what we got off camera. I got a couple of bows, and this one, Flame, Unbreaking 3, Mending, and Punch 2, and another bow with Mending on it. That's ridiculous. And I got a Frostwalker book as well, and not just Frostwalker, Frostwalker 2. And we got a Protection 3, Bane of Arthropods, or however you say that. Oh, no, Creeper. Okay. Well, gotta fix that. I'll be right back. I gotta tell you, the amount of creepers that have spawned since 1.2, just crazy amounts. And we're gonna go ahead and take down this sign from the prank that PaddyCasts left us in the last episode? Yeah, it was the last episode. Man, I'm already getting my episodes mixed up, and we're only on number 4. So the prank that he left us, I got creepered right next to the sign off camera, and yeah, so the sign is halfway gone, so now it is all the way gone, and we're going to go ahead and keep the resources from that, and potentially use them for something else a little bit later. But what we're going to do, just to get started, before we do any building today, is we're just going to do a little bit of resource gathering, maybe do some tool crafting, and just kind of get ourselves situated so that we can do a little bit more building with a little bit more preparation. Because the problem that we've run into so far is that we require a lot of stone, and now that we have a Silk Touch pickaxe, we can get a lot more stone a lot easier because we don't have to smelt it all up when we get back. But we're still running into this issue where we're running out of stone rather quickly because the builds that we're using are primarily made out of stone, at least to get us started right now. Once we get onto our actual home with the airship that's going to be kind of linked up or hovering above, or I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work yet, the docking station that we built. Once we get that going, that's probably the frame of it anyway, at least the airship part and not the balloon part, is going to probably be made primarily out of wood. So we're going to need to kind of start storing up that as well. So I think that's probably what I'm going to be doing in between episodes over the next couple of episodes, is just be stockpiling a lot of resources like wood and stone and anything else that I can foresee that we might need. So for the rest of today's episode, after we do a little bit more resource gathering, we might go mining for a little bit. We're going to try to finish the tower that we started in the last episode because it's not finished just yet. And you guys gave some really cool ideas in the comment section, and I don't know that I'm going to use any of them, unfortunately, because I actually came up with one design that I really, really like, and I've already built it in my creative testing world, and I'm going to probably use that one here. So thank you for your suggestions. Even though I didn't get to use those suggestions, please keep submitting those, because I do use subscriber suggestions every once in a while, and you guys do some pretty cool stuff and have some pretty cool ideas. Okay, so I actually went mining for about 30-45 minutes, and look at this. I've gotten quite a few resources here. We got some coal, some lapis, some redstone, some gold, some iron, a few diamonds, not very many, but we ran into, like, this small little tunnel here. I don't think it's an actual cave system. It's just, like, a little short area here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these resources in here, and then we'll take them on back to our base area, and probably not mine all of them yet. I did all of this with a Silk Touch pickaxe, so all of the ores are still intact. I don't think I'm going to mine like the diamonds until I get a Fortune 3 pickaxe, because you know what, now that we've got enough to get by on, at least for the moment, I don't want to waste diamond ore until we have a fortune 3, so we can get more diamonds out of our ores. So I'm going to go ahead and mine some of this up, and I'll be right back with you here in just a second to show you what we are going to do next. All right, well, I would say that was a relatively successful mining trip, at least for the amount of time that we went. We didn't go for very long. So we got 5 diamond ore. Again, wish we could get more than that, but that's okay. But we got like over 2 stacks of coal. I think it was almost 2.5 stacks. Then we got 10 lapis, and then almost 2 stacks of redstone, and about 1.5 stacks of iron, and just under 1 stack of gold. So what we're going to do is we're going to smelt up our smeltable resources, because we don't need a fortune pickaxe for that. And, ooh, there's only 5 coal in there. Ooh, there's only 2 in there. We are running low on coal in the furnaces. So I think after I load these up, while those are smelting away, we're going to pillar up here. Make a little tower of coal ore and mine that up just so we can get a little bit more coal in our furnaces. So let's go ahead and grab that, and we'll do that right now. All right, so we have refilled our furnaces, we got all of the ores out, and now I'm going to drop in some stone bricks in each one of these furnaces, a stack of stone bricks to be exact in each one, so that we can get a few stacks, well, 4 exactly, of cracked stone bricks, so that we can do the same thing to our lighthouse tower that we did to the rest of the docking station, because we didn't do that in the last episode, and in hindsight, I probably should have intermingled those cracked stone bricks with everything else while I was building it, because it's going to be a little bit difficult to go back and do that again. But that's okay. We'll get around to it. We'll get it taken care of. Okay, down to business. Time to get started with our build. We've kind of taken our time getting going with this today, but that's okay. Sometimes we need to do that just to, you know, get the inspiration flowing again. And I've already done a Reverb Outpost video since the last episode of Unity, and it was a technical build. We did a zombie XP farm, and that was a lot easier on the brain. And for some people, like, the technical stuff, like, gets a little bit tricky and uses a lot more brain power. Something like a zombie farm that I've built probably 4 or 5 times now. Only once in an actual series on YouTube, but I've built them several times before that. They're relatively easy to build for me now. So some of those things that, like, when your brain is just kind of fried and you don't feel like being creative, those builds that you've done before, they absolutely help refuel some of your creative energy, because you just can kind of relax and do your thing. So what we're doing now is we are starting to build this up a little bit more, and we're not going to keep going with the same shape that we've had for, I think, the entire tower. I don't think it's had any variant in shape from the top to bottom until now. So what I have done is I've gone on to this website, and I'll include it in the description below. I've mentioned it before. I used this website for the base that I built in my first season of my single-player Let's Play, and I mentioned it way early on in the series. The website is called plots.co.uk, and basically what it is it gives you a pixel chart of how to build different shapes. So they've got, like, rings and spheres and lighthouses, which ironically, this is a lighthouse, and we're not going to use the lighthouse shape that they have on there. And they've got a couple other things that might be useful to you guys if you go check that out. But what we are using it for is to build half of a sphere. And I'll show you what it's going to look like here in a second when we jump down. Again, I've already built this in my creative testing world, so I know what it's going to look like, and it's pretty cool. Basically, the tower itself is going to flow inward in a sphere shape at the top, and then there will be a narrow section that goes straight up, kind of like the tower that we have already built. And then it will kind of bow back out with another sphere, and just kind of give it a really cool topper. And picture this is kind of what it's going to look like. Picture the tower of the evil eye of Sauron in Lord of the Rings. If you've ever seen those movies, picture it kind of like that, because I've got a topper on top of it that kind of like looks somewhat like it could be smokestacks. That's kind of what I'm intending it to look like. But it's also got like some wood framage with the wood fences, the dark oak fences, and it kind of just gives it that shape that you can just imagine like Sauron's eye resting on top of this tower, and he's watching over the Unity SMP, and he's the all-seeing eye. So anybody who wants to try to prank me on here, you're going to have to watch out. As soon as this tower is built, I'm going to be able to see everything. Actually, I already do see everything, because I actually watch everybody that's on here. Everybody that puts out a video on Unity, I try to take time to watch those videos, and I don't always watch them the day that they're released, just because, you know, recording schedule and work schedule, and I do watch other content creators besides the people on Unity, so sometimes I get backed up on my videos, but I do get around to watching everybody on here just because I love to see the process of what everybody else is building, and just kind of keep up with everybody and how their projects are going on the realm. So if you guys haven't seen some of the other players, all of the links are in the description. Be sure to go check out some of the other guys and gal on the realm. There's a lot of great talent on here, and I think you would enjoy it. All right, well, there it is. It's not completely done yet. I don't have the little smokestack kind of tower thing on top that I told you guys about earlier, but I've got the basic structure in place. We need to do the detailing now, and what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and carve a few holes in the side of what we just built. So yes, we're going to destroy what we just built. That's good practice, right? That's what I think that's the best way to do things sometimes, is to get the basic frame in place and then go back and do the detailing. And if you need to tear stuff out, that's just what you have to do sometimes, because a lot of times if you try to do all of the detailing up front, then it doesn't turn out to be the exact shape that you want it to be, or the structure or the texturing or whatever, like the basic layout of what you want. It doesn't always turn out the best if you don't do just some basic stuff before you do all your detailing. I guess that's just for me. I don't know about how everybody else builds. That's a question that I've got for you guys. Answer this in the comment section for me. How do you guys like to build your stuff? Do you do all of the details at the same time as you're building, or do you go back and do all of the detailing after you've got your structure? I'd be interested to know what, kind of percentage of people do the same way that I do, and what percentage of people do it differently. And I know, like, I kind of picked up this technique from watching Wells Knight. I watch a lot of his videos, and he's a very, very talented builder. And if you're watching the Hermitcraft Season 5, right now he's building a massive castle with a keep and a town, and I think he's building a church now, and all sorts of really cool stuff. All of the builds that he does, at least on a massive scale like that, he does just basically out of stone first, and then goes back and does the detailing and adds windows and clay and different colors and things like that. That's where I picked up this technique from, is just basically laying everything out and then going back and doing the detailing. I feel like that works a lot better for me, and maybe if you're having some troubles getting the right look and feel for your builds, maybe that's something that you could give a try as well. Yeah, let's jump on down here and take a look to see how that looks, and then we'll keep on moving on. Let's run over here, and yeah, that's not bad. I kind of think this looks a little bit like a ketchup bottle. I probably shouldn't have said that, because now that's exactly what you guys are going to call this thing, the ketchup bottle. We really need to get those smokestacks up there so it doesn't look like a ketchup bottle anymore. Okay, well, let's move on. Okay, so now, the detailing that we talked about just a few minutes ago, we are going to rip all of this out, actually, and I'll explain why here in just a second. Actually, you'll see why here in just a second, because You can already see there's a glowstone or redstone lamp is what it's called over across the way, and some up top. We're basically going to fill this in exactly like we did our docking station. We're going to have a row of wood logs like that, and then we will take some stone bricks, and we'll sneak over here just like this and place one down here. We'll grab a redstone lamp, place it there, and then another stone brick, and then we're going to go ahead and throw another row of logs down to button that up and hide that. So it looks exactly like the docking station, and that's what we want because it's attached to it. We want one uniform look and feel. So we're going to have a strip of dark oak logs running all the way around the tower, just like this. So I'm going to do all of this detailing off camera, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do next, which I know I specifically said in the last episode I wasn't going to do this, but we're going to do it anyway, so hang on one second, you'll find out what that is. Well, I went through several designs in my head, and I was never happy with any other source of lighting, except... Do you see what we have in our inventory? We've got netherrack, and we've got a flint and steel. So I'm just kind of making sure here, just taking a peek around. We should be okay. Oh, didn't mean to fall. So basically, I did the research. I was wrong on the numbering on how far fire spreads. Basically, it will spread 1 block sideways, 1 block down, and 4 blocks up from the fire source block, I believe. So we should have a good 2 blocks of a gap, the way that I'm placing this, before it could even reach the next flammable resource, which is the wood logs. Stone doesn't catch on fire, so I think we're safe. There's nothing upwards. There's no wood directly above the flame, where the flame is going to go. So let's light this on fire and hope for the best. This could be a disaster, but it could be really cool too. Oh, I said I wasn't going to do this, but here we are. Let's get our water bucket out just in case. I don't see anything catching on fire. I think we're safe. The only thing that I'm concerned about, which I'm going to have to tell everybody on the Unity private chat that we have, not to prank this. Please don't prank this, guys. Please, 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 please. I'm begging you. Prank anything else that you want of my builds. Just don't prank the tower. Because if you do, if you accidentally place down, you know, a flammable block within that fire range and it can reach other blocks within that range, we're in trouble. We're in massive trouble. That looks pretty cool. I'm really excited that we did this. I like the source of light. It breaks it up from the redstone lamps, because the redstone lamps are like the industrial accent lighting. But for a beacon, for a lighthouse, where we want to, you know, signal that this is where ships can land, we want fire, because it just feels appropriate. Oh, it looks so good. I'm really happy with this. Oh, fell down. Well, let's keep going. I definitely don't like the look of that netherrack being exposed like that. Just kind of takes away from the build. So we're just going to cover that up with some stone bricks, just like that. And then let's go ahead and grab. Let's go ahead and grab our slabs. Tried to mix those words together. And then we'll place those down there just to kind of give it a little bit more of a nice transition. And we'll cover up that... what is that called? Diorite. We'll cover up the diorite that we placed down just as some temporary blocks, and nobody will ever see those because they're covered from the top and from the bottom now, so waste not. Awesome. Oh, I love that we can see Daphne's ship from here. That's pretty cool. Oh, and there's Paddy's house, and we can see everything from here. This is awesome. Oh, there's DrJim's house as well. Legit, we can see everything from this tower. Not that we're ever going to climb up here, but we can see everything. It's awesome. Well, there you have it. I added the smokestacks off camera with the wooden frame. There you go. Doesn't that remind you of the Tower of Sauron? feels a little like it. I feel like I'm being watched right now. So, okay. Well, let's do one more thing before we end this episode. As I mentioned earlier, I watch everybody's episodes on the Unity server as often as I can, and I was watching one of ECKOSOLDIER's recent videos, and he mentioned that he needed a potato, and I think he went zombie hunting to try to see if a zombie would drop a potato. And he had no luck. And I think he said, you know, maybe we'll have to see if one of the other players has some. So we do. Just taking a look from another angle before we head over to Echo's house. That place looks awesome. I'm really excited about how my base is turning out so far. And all of the plans that we've got for the future. And I think, speaking of the future, now that we've got that tower done, what do you guys think about us starting that airship in the next episode? I think that might just have to happen. We'll at least start the frame. Yeah, just making sure he only has wheat right there. So I'm pretty sure he has no potatoes yet. Land claimed by Echo. Okay, we are in the right place. I know this is his house. I've seen it in his videos. It's a pretty cool house. If you guys haven't seen his videos yet, which I'm sure most of you have, go check him out. Awesome channel. Very nice guy. So I think we'll leave him over here. So it's pretty obvious that this is where he can pick him up. All right. Hey, Echo, I heard you need these. Enjoy. BluJay. All right, there you go, buddy. There's 32 potatoes. I hope that will maybe fill up your farm. And if not, it'll at least get you well on your way to filling up your farm. Enjoy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time that I've got for today. And I just realized in this clip that I'm wearing my skin from Reverb Outpost. Well, when you have two different skins, that's going to happen from time to time, especially because you can't assign specific skins to specific worlds. I wish that were a thing. That'd be a great idea. But anyway, we are going to wrap this episode up. That's all the time that I've got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. Let me know what you think of the finished tower. I really love the look, the shape, the style, the texturing, all of the detailing, all of that stuff. I think it looks pretty cool, but I'd love to hear your feedback on what you think of it as well. And I want to also know what you guys think about, you know, the next episode. If you want me to start the airship, or if you have another idea for a project we could work on, I want to take your suggestions as well. And I know that DrJimJim has been working on like a gaming area, district kind of thing, so we could potentially build a mini game as well if we wanted to take a break from our base building at some point in a future episode. Let me know of a mini game that you guys would like to see, and we could potentially build one of those on here as well for everybody to play. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see in the future. And if you really enjoyed this video and all of the content on my channel, I'd appreciate you going to check out my Patreon. I've got some awesome rewards that you guys might enjoy if you would consider supporting my channel in that way. But for now, my name is BluJay, and I've got to fly on out of here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.